Welcome back to News Center. Let's head to Isiolo, where our reporter Clement Masombo is on a camel caravan. Let's listen in to what it's all about.
We are coming to you live from Isiolo County, and we are taking part in this official opening ceremony of this year's Camel Caravan. This is a walk along Ewaso Nyiro River just to create awareness among the community members on how to conserve this river. Remember, this is a river that is relied on by over 5 million Kenyans, and a river that flows through over 6 counties. And in this year's edition, we have seen various organizations, various participants, some even coming from outside Kenya to take part in this year's walk along Ewaso Nyiro River. I'll start with you, gentlemen. Introduce yourself, the organization you come from, and we are aware that you aim to walk to over 103 kilometers along the river. Perhaps, what are you aiming to achieve in this year's walk along Ewaso Nyiro River?
Thank you, Clement and KTN, for joining us for this year's edition of Ewaso Nyiro Camel Caravan. My name is Yusuf Osman. I'm the Communication Officer for Ewaso Nyiro North Development Authority, a state agency under the Regional Development Authority in the Ministry of Asals and East African Community. So we are working today from Gafarsa, where we are in Isiolo South, all the way. After 6 days will be in Achas Post, Samburu County. We will have 6 stopovers, talking with the community, meeting with different sections of this, the pastoral and agro-pastoral communities. For this year edition, Ewaso Nyiro North Development Authority is the lead agency, and we brought together so many partners, community and non-state actors. We have Impact Trust Kenya, from working with communities in Laikipia, Isiolo Peace Link, Action Aid, and several CBOs, youth-led initiatives, green-driven initiatives like Isiolo Conservation Trust. A lot of young people are participating. We are 160 persons so far, working from Gafarsa to Achas Post, having stopovers in Malkadaka, Brambate, Gotu, Funanbisan, talking with the community on conservation and peace building. So our aim for this caravan is meeting with so many communities along in the Ewaso Nyiro River Basin belt. It is endured with so many Kenyan communities like the Samburu, Turkana, Somali, Borana, so many other indigenous communities in Laikipia. And over time, we have seen a lot of conflict over access to pasture, access to water resources. And talking about water, that's what we are working for. The water of River Ewaso Nyiro have been dwindling down so fast over the past years due to climate change and human, actions. What it is our report on 2020 found out that there is massive blockage, obstruction of springs that feed the river. The river flows all the way from Lake Orobosat in Nyandarua. The lake itself is known now. It has been in the news, and so many attention, has been flagged about it, that it is, it's really rapidly closing. It's a dying lake. And Ewaso Nyiro River has been reaching all the way to Wajir, flowing into the historic Lorian Swamp. It's no longer there. It's not even reaching Gafarsa, where we are in Isiolo South, leave of going to the border of Wajir. So what it is bringing in, we have seen severe droughts, a lot of livestock decimated by droughts and climatic shocks. And if the water is not reaching where it used to reach, those who need water are following the tail of the water. And soon we could find pastorals moving all the way to Nyandarua and Nyeri counties in search of water. We are working to sensitize communities, policy action holders, and all those who are interested in our dialogue to understand that serious intervention is required for Ewaso Nyiro River.
All right, thank you. That is Yusuf Osman from Isiolo, one of the key stakeholders in this year's edition. Kindly move here. We also engage you. Tell us your name, the organization you come from, and your purpose to participate in this year's Camel Caravan Walk.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Zaitun Ali. I'm the County Coordinator, Activista Isiolo Chapter. Activista Isiolo Chapter, it's a youth movement that we normally do the socializations and also conserving environment through eco-vista systems. And I think it's a good initiative as a youth to take part in conserving environments, especially when we know we are from ASAL areas, and we think that it's our rights, also it's our responsibility to conserve our environment. So by youth taking part, I think it's a good thing because tumeamua kujiunga na wengine haswa tuwezeshe kuwa like even our environment should be conserved. Tuweze kupata maji, tuweze watu wetu waweze kupata lishe bora kwa afya yao, na pia to have pasture for our environment because we are pastoralists. Yes.
All right, thank you so much. Let me engage another gentleman here. Introduce yourself, the organization you come from, and your purpose to participate in this year's Camel Caravan.
Hello, thank you KTN. My name is Isa Mohammed from Isiolo Conservationist Trust, a youth-led initiative working in Isiolo County. This year's Camel Caravan edition is a little bit unique because we have brought the communities that lives upstream in the areas of Lake Olbolosat, Nyandarua, Laikipia, to downstream for them to see for themselves what is actually happening at Ewaso Nyiro River. The river is no longer there, it has dried up. For them to think that their action that they are undertaking at Lake Olbolosat, at areas in Laikipia, is really affecting the downstream communities such as Gafarsa and Kombola. The farmers in the downstream, the pastoralists in the downstream depends solely on this river. And right now as we speak, the river has dried up. So for these communities to come at the downstream, to see for themselves what is happening at the downstream, and to think that the activities that they are undertaking, the intensive agriculture that is happening at areas in Laikipia and Lake Olbolosat, as you have already heard, Lake Olbolosat is shrinking, you know, year in, year out, because of encroachment of people, because of the extensive farming that is happening at that part. So in the evening, as Isiolo Conservationist Trust, we do have intergenerational conversation on conservation, whereby the communities, the elders, the women and the youth can actually see for themselves and hear from the elders what is happening, what had happened in the future 20 years ago, how the river was, and what has happened that we are in this mess. So this year's Camel Caravan is a little bit unique, and it has acquired a lot of, you know, massive communications and advocacy, and this year we are having a lot more partners coming in for the Camel Caravan 11th edition. So we thank you so much, and the advocacy is about pamoja tuhifadhi Ewaso Nyiro.
All right, thank you so much. Let me engage you, sir. Introduce yourself, the organization you come from, and whether from your perspective you think the government is doing enough to enhance conservation of rivers and other water catchment areas that we have in this region and the country at large.
Okay, my name is Boru Konso. I'm the regional coordinator, Isiolo Regional Office. I work with the Ewaso Nyiro North Development Authority. My task actually here in this annual Camel Caravan is to sensitize the community on issues on conservation along the riparian lands along Ewaso Nyiro River. We have supplied 5,000 tree seedlings to learning institutions, and we intend to achieve more on that. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Let me engage another, lastly here, gentleman. As a youth, what do you think is the role of youth? How should the youth be involved in matters to do with the environmental conservation, as well as tackling the effects of climate change that we are currently experiencing, especially in these ASAL areas?
Okay, kwa majina kamili ni Mohamed Abdi Haji, natoka kwa CBO ambayo inaitwa Isiolo Artist Association, I'm a musician. And sisi kama youth tulikuwa tumeona kwamba ni mzuri sana sisi kama wasanii, sana wasanii kutumia talent zetu kuweza kuhamasisha jamii kuhusu climate change, kwamba watu wanafaa kupanda miti, tusikate miti, tusitumie mazingira zetu vibaya. Na pia tukaona kwamba tunaweza kuja huku chini kama leo tunatembea tukifunzana kama community venye hizi River Ewaso Nyiro ambayo inasaidia jamii. Tunafunza pia wale ambao wametoka huko hapa upstream kukuja huku chini, waone huko chini, huko juu akifunga maji huko chini venye wenzetu wanafariki, wanyama zetu zinakufa nini, unaona. So ndo tukakuja kama vijana tuweze kuungana na vijana hii area, tuweze kubrain mind pamoja, tuone vile tunaweza saidiana. Yeah.
All right. Very briefly, I'm seeing a gentleman here in a Scouts uniform. Perhaps what brings you in this year's Camel Caravan?
So thank you, KTN. My name is Emmanuel Mbabu. I'm a representative representative of the Kenya Scouts Association. I'm here on behalf of the Isiolo Rovers. So for us Kenya tu tumekuja ni tuhamasishe jamii na vijana wa hii area ya kwamba kwa pamoja tukishikana tunahifadhi Ewaso Nyiro.
All right, thank you so much. And of course, there you have it. You've heard it from various stakeholders, government and governmental organizations, youth, and as well as women. They are just taking up the role in participating in this year's edition of Camel Caravan, a 6 days walk